for others if you don't have insurance. And it'd be more expensive for us if we don't have health care, if people in West Virginia don't have health care and they're stuck using more expensive emergency rooms, et cetera.
Well, you know,
that's the exact analogy.
The thing, no, actually the thing about it is, though, that with automotive insurance, and I'm saying not in automotive insurance, but mandating that everybody have a new car, not the insurance.
I understand that you're trying to make a different analogy, but it's insurance. It's not new cars. We're not putting new body parts on people. It's insurance for when things break.
But again, the insurance that is in the automotive sector isn't, it's still free market. I can go around and the automotive industry isn't, the automotive insurance industry isn't collapsing under the weight of this. So I mean, it's not really a fair, parallel there.
Well, I think you're right. I mean, I think there probably should have been a freer marketplace, but instead at the time, when Obamacare got put into place, there was talk about having, a national marketplace, but instead folks on the other side who didn't want it to be as strong made it be state by state. Well, and so and I think that's something that probably everybody would agree with, that opening it up to saying, that there's not, one insurance or two or three insurance companies per state, just have everybody compete nationally. Okay. It'll be better. I mean, I think there's probably better systems than that, but that's, that would be better.
And, I guess, I really appreciate your time, by the way. Not to call up. I know you all probably have a hard enough job, but not to call up, and I'm not trying to hassle or troll anybody. I really appreciate your time today. But, as far as a PR rep or somebody that I could maybe get on my podcast at some point, would there be a contact that I could speak to?
I don't know. To be honest, I don't know who would be, but I'll pass along the website information and shoot it over to folks. I'm probably end up being Alex or Gary or Valerie.
Great. Okay. Well, I mean, and again, and I would love to open the conversation back up with her. That would be great. But other than her, there was no other paid protesters there. Am I correct?
I have no idea. I don't know who was there. I wasn't there.
I got you. Because I actually have her on film saying that nobody was paid for that, and that's just sort of what I'm confused about. It was sort of passed off as grassroots things, but as I started looking at the signs that were made, they were actually printed out signs, and which told me it was some type of political action group, and so I'm not really sure why she would state that no one was being paid for that. So I don't know, and like I said, I just wanted to dig a little deeper, and I greatly appreciate your time today, though.
All right, take care.
Hey, thank you, sir. Have a good day.
So there you have it. We had a pretty good conversation, and just for the record, the West Virginia Citizens Action Group, the gentleman that I spoke with, they claim no affiliation to Soros, so that they don't claim that they receive any money, anything like that. So we have that out there. But yeah, Ms. Gallo, I would welcome the opportunity to open the conversation back up. Would love to do an interview over the phone and just kind of get things out there. I would love to discuss some of the groups and maybe have you shed some light if they're misconstrued, if what's out there is misrepresented in any way. I want to give you the opportunity to clear the record, set the record straight. I will be more than happy to give you time on air. So other than that, I think I'm going to just close with, not close, because there's a whole nother 20-minute segment where you get to hear the initial July 24th intended episode before, the fake news bomb. But I just want to say that in regards to fake news, I was not the only victim. The president was by far a greater victim of the fake news smear. You wouldn't have known that 40,000 Boy Scouts were chanting the president's name. You wouldn't have known that the majority of West Virginians overwhelmingly supported the president. And you wouldn't have known that he was giving an inspirational speech to the next generation of people out there. Apparently only leftist ideologues with, with their organization skills have a right to be political at the Summit Bechtel-Reserve. So, yeah, the news was in a tizzy because apparently the president was too political. So, fake news, ladies and gentlemen. But, and I also would welcome CBS News. I would be more than happy to sit down with you and sort of discuss everything if you want to give me a few minutes. That would be great. Not necessary, though. So, other than that, I'm going to go ahead and cut into the July 24th episode and enjoy. Hi, good evening. Thank you for joining in. It is July the 24th, and the President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, is in my small hometown of Mount Hope, West Virginia, the gateway to the summit, the Boy Scout Summit, and he will be making an appearance there. And what's really cool is I had a chance to run across some protesters who had a few signs and, a good mix of people. And it was a pretty positive experience overall. Wasn't as perfect as I would have liked it to be, but it was a pretty positive experience overall. The protesters were outside of the entrance of the Boy Scouts, of the Scouts Bechtel-Summit-Reserve, and I stopped to interview them, and my son, thankfully, was doing a good job on the camera, so I appreciate him helping out. But yeah, I went up and just wanted to talk to some of the protesters about exactly what it was they were protesting. There were women, children, white people, black people, veterans, and I expected honestly it to be more of a paid protest. They claim no one was being paid. They claim they were all from West Virginia, so they were all West Virginians. And what was really great, the positive thing about it, was that they didn't have their faces covered. Nobody came up beating drums or throwing urine on me. Nothing was being burnt down, but it is West Virginia, and you're in the middle of a scout reserve, so you don't really have a whole lot of buildings to loot where these people were. So, the great thing about it was it looked like a good mix of people from maybe the entire demographic of West Virginia. Like I said, there were veterans. I would almost bet. No, I didn't really. It was so loud, and I didn't really have the proper audio equipment to record. The actual interview process once they got so loud. So I just sort of had a discussion, and it was a positive discussion overall, with a woman that now, one thing that sort of, there were two things about the protest that sort of had me a little apprehensive. My kids about freaked out because I was like, look, Jarek, I need you to run the camera for me. I need to hop in on this. And so he hopped in. My daughter was sort of thinking I was crazy and not wanting to do it. But we got out, and, you know, we all, me and my children all walked up there. A lot of those people seemed to be, you know, educators, all walks of life. So, but I was apprehensive though, because as soon as I got out of the car, and I have it on the video. I will post the entire video underneath the media player. So, you know, basically, I was apprehensive because we got out and they were yelling, healthcare is a human right, not just for the rich and white. So I don't know if they were just trying to rhyme something with right, but it was, I'm sorry, it was a little racist to clump all white people into, you know, the 1%. I'm not the 1%. But, you know, still just, you know, kind of a racist overtone there. And I thought, oh, here we go. This is going to be fun. But, you know, like I said, thankfully they were peaceful people, and I wanted to thank them. Peaceful protest is what makes us stronger. When we can talk to each other like, you know, we did, then democracy flourishes. America flourishes. The lifestyle of our population flourishes. And there were evil on both sides. And, you know, I'll get into that in a little bit. You know, I was there in support of the president. I drove by in my little bright red Chevy Spark with the Donald Trump, the white Donald Trump campaign sticker, still affixed to the window. And when my kids realized that I still had a Trump sticker affixed to the back of the car, they made them doubly nervous. But yeah, I mean, all these people seem to be from West Virginia. But they had signs, you know, things like repeal Trump care. And, you know, we brought the man in to fix the issue. And I'm a salesperson. That's just ingrained in me. And it's not a good deal when someone is forced to buy a product. You know, if a car company could get it written that you had to have transportation because it's a human right, or you had to pay an unreasonable amount for public transportation, and if you didn't, then you were penalized. And you know, if Obamacare, and that's what it is, Obamacare, the Affordable Care Act, but if it's a good deal, why are we forced to hop into it? It's, in my opinion, as a person, you know, who has been affected by the Affordable Care Act, personally, I view it as, I realized they were trying